Listen, motherfucker, chances are you're not where you want to be. You're probably in a similar position to where I was a year ago, and I had to learn these few lessons to be able to actually start upgrading my life and making the changes that I needed to make to be able to live the lifestyle I've always dreamed of. I was the definition of comfortable. I had a company car, I had a girlfriend, I wasn't pushing myself to go to the gym, I wasn't really leveling up or doing anything I knew I was capable of, which I did always knew deep inside that I should be doing more. So I made that switch, yeah. I started to learn appointment setting. I made 3 to 5K a month. I then went into one-to-one coaching, set up my own business in one-to-one coaching, which was all new to me. I then went and actually ran a community where I coached over 100 appointment setters. I created my own agency. I've coached for a business that makes like 500K a month, and I've now built what I consider to be the best appointment setting mentorship for anyone new to the online space who actually wants to make changes to their life, get out of a 9 to 5, not go to university, and level up. It all starts with your frequency. You'll hear people saying you need to take action, action, action. Like, yeah, action's all good, but you know, there are people out there that are working hard every single day. Like, think about like someone in India who's working hard, or, you know, a single mother with a family of like 5. She is doing everything she has to do day in, day out, exhausted, probably missing out on sleep. So to a certain extent, you can put in as much action as you want. But if you're not on the right frequency, if you're not applying the action in the right ways, it isn't going to matter. So by operating on the right frequency, what I mean is not only do you need to be able to believe that you are the guy that makes the 5, the 10, the hundreds of thousands online, but you need to start acting and behaving in the ways like you already are them. See, you have beliefs that shape your actions that changes who you identify as. So if you believe that you are just George from London who sits around all day really hard done by, just trying to make money online but doesn't know what to do and just needs that one escape, then you're always just going to be looking at like the negative of the situation, how like there's no opportunities for you, how you're always looking. However, if you then take that George and you become the George that, although you know you're not where you want to be now, what does that George that makes 5K a month online actually do from day to day? How does he operate? How does he approach taking action, procrastinating, doing the things he needs to do? Because when you can do this, when you can actually become the guy that makes 5K before you even make the 5K, you won't even realize what's really happened. You would have undergone so much change, self-development. You'd be a whole different person to the point when it does happen, when you are making the 5K, nothing changes. That is just you. That is the standard you have now built yourself to be. That is how you operate. And then the same applies for pushing on further and further and further. So if you can just become the guy that, you know, makes millions, the guy that turns up every single day doing the shit he needs to do, operates on that level already, it is just going to become normal to you. And normal things are easy to do. Normal things, like something normal is something that's going to happen, like every day, just normal occurrences. So if you can make your normal the reality that you want, then it just is going to make that reality come to you, essentially. Tackling self-discipline is one of many people's greatest challenge. For me, it was definitely one of my greatest challenges. You know, for years, like my whole life, I'd always just been that guy that watches YouTube all the time, scrolls on his phone, not really put in 100% effort. Like, yeah, I built like businesses before, had like a few side hustles, but never had I actually had that true self-discipline. And it all starts with controlling your mind, which starts with being able to say no. And if you can't even say no to like your friends, the people around you, how are you supposed to say no to yourself? It's not about saying no to opportunities and just like being that boring guy. It's about having that self-respect, being able to prioritize what actually suits you, what's going to drive you towards your goals. If someone's asking you to go and do something and it doesn't actually have your goal in mind, it doesn't have any alignment with actually getting you closer to where you want to be, then simply say no. And when you can actually start building up that discipline, building up that confidence in yourself, it becomes 10 times easier to start saying it to yourself because you're used to saying it. So then when it gets to the point where you know you've got to put in this work and start on like this business, this side hustle, actually taking action and doing the shit you need to do, you can simply say no to yourself when it comes to scrolling because you're so used, it's installed in you. You know what your priorities are, and you know now that if something doesn't align with you, you say no and you go and do what you need to do. Your environment is essential, like, and I'm not just saying like move out to Thailand, I'm not saying like go the other side of the world. I'm just saying that 99 out of 100 people have stayed in their hometown their whole lives, and if everyone's familiar with the term like nothing changes if nothing changes, the biggest thing you can change if you've been in one place for your whole life is change the place you're in. And for me, it makes sense to like come out to Asia because it's cheap. There's other people on the same path of me that I can meet up with. The weather's nice, the food's nice. It's like healthy food. There's a big culture around fitness in places like Bali and Thailand. If you actually just go have to live by yourself, take care of yourself for the first time in your life. The amount of self-development that you are forced to do is just unreal. Like, you know, you have your mum doing your laundry until the age of like 20. It's not healthy for you. It's not how a man should operate. A man is to take care of himself. So when you can take that step, make the change, you can literally move to a new city where no one knows you and shape the identity you want to be, which comes back to choosing your frequency. You can move somewhere, destroy your old identity and build the new person you want to be, and meet the new people you want to meet, and just be in the environment of people, be in the place, be the guy that you know you can be, the guy that makes the 5, the 10K. Just sit into that frequency. It's so easy to do by just changing the environment. You need to get over the fear of doing things you've never done before, because like I said, nothing changes without change. So if you're telling me like, oh no, like it's a big thing, invest in myself, I've never taken risks like this before, like, cool man, where has that got you? Oh, I'm doing alright, okay. Alright, what? What does that mean? What do you mean by alright? 3K a month, I'm in my 9 to 5. What does that 9 to 5 do to you? Does it serve you? No, not really. It's still stuck in the UK. Didn't serve me. I didn't enjoy my 9 to 5 at all. It was easy, it was comfortable. Was it my passion? Is it my goal? No. So does it serve me? No. So we need to get rid of it. So if you're telling me that, you know you haven't taken these changes, you haven't these risks before, you feel like you're doing well, but it isn't your goal, then you need to change your idea of what doing well is. Because if you think you're doing well but you're not where you want to be, how does that even make sense? So to start changing this, we need to get used to doing things we've never done before, because when we do things we've never done before, we get the effects that we've never had before. So if you want the effect of someone that's making more money, that has more freedom, you need to take the actions and make the changes that someone that has more money or has more freedom would do. And that isn't going to the same 9 to 5 every single day, coming back, maybe doing like a half-assed gym session because you've convinced yourself you're exhausted and you're like working hard, and then literally just scrolling on your phone and going to bed and like just watching porn and then doing the same thing the next day. That is not making change. That is not changing any causes that's going to give you a different effect. One really crucial thing is actually your concept of money. See, for me, back in the day, I'd saved up about 30k in an S&P 500. You know, I always had like 5k just sitting in my bank, and I thought I was doing well. For an 18-year-old to have that much in my bank, I thought I was ahead of everyone. You know, and when I say ahead of everyone, I was comparing myself to like the average 18-year-old. And if you want to compare yourself to an average 18-year-old for like the rest of your life, you know, you're going to settle and be stuck at that 30k, and if that makes you happy, that makes you happy. But I can imagine if you've made it this far in the video, that doesn't make you happy. So if you really think about it, having 30k in the bank, it brings you into like a scarcity mindset. What I mean by this is when all you focus on is what you do have, it makes it nearly impossible to avert all your attention and direction into going and getting what is out there, because you're so focused on just clinging on. So you stay stuck in the same place. Don't ever go and earn this life-changing money, because your mindset is limiting you, thinking that, you know, you need to cling on to everything. But realistically, if you invested that 5k in yourself, okay, maybe if it sits in your bank in 2 years' time, let's say you have some crazy interest rate, nice, you got 6k. But let's say you invest 5k in yourself today to learn a skill set that's going to allow you to make 10k a month. Guess what? In a year's time, you've made 120k minus that, 5k, 150k profit. It's just a no-brainer. Since getting into the online space, I've invested nearly now 15k into my own skill set. And the last thing is, if you're like, oh yeah, this is all good, but I just don't have time right now, I need like the 9 to 5 to be able to support myself. I have like gym, I have all these commitments, relationships, I just can't start a skill. Then your whole concept of time is messed up. See, there are two ways you can go about time. You can either let time control you, or you can take control of time and actually decide what you're going to do with your time. But if you convince yourself that time is against you, that you're never going to have enough time, then what do you feel like that effect is actually going to have on the amount of time that you end up having? However, if you believe that, you know what, there is enough time, you can make enough time in a day, you control time, time is just a concept, then you're definitely going to be able to do the things you need to get done. You're going to be able to structure your day and just like approach it in a way where you take control of your actions and what you actually make happen from every single day, which makes every single week stack up, which makes this weeks stack into months, stack into years, which is another important thing. if you don't have your daily structure, if you're not stacking small wins, like getting straight out of bed in the morning, you know, eating some healthy food, having a cold shower, doing some kind of cardio, getting straight to the gym, doing your work that you need to do, you know, going boxing, and holding all these promises to yourself, because when you hold promise to yourself, it builds confidence, it builds momentum. However, every single time you break a promise to yourself, you feel guilty, it breaks momentum, it lowers confidence, and you just don't stack that momentum that's going to take you to where you want to be, and it has a huge effect. So when you can start doing that, then everything is going to change for you, I can guarantee it. Now, I'm not just some guy that's saying, like, if you do all of this right away, everything's going to change overnight. No. You know, it takes a lot of learning. I didn't get it straight away. I still don't have it. I've still got a lot of learning to do. But what's important is I'm trying to be very aware of it. I'm trying to make sure that I am taking control of my time. I have the right concept of money. I'm always investing in myself. That I'm on that correct frequency and keeping myself as disciplined as possible, stacking these wins every day to carry that momentum through, get me to my goals of where I know I can be, as I believe I'm already operating at that level. And when it comes, it's not even going to be a surprise to me. So if you just take away one thing from this video, just know that it's all in control. It starts with you. No one is going to come and do it for you. If you need a bit of a helping hand, then the help's out there. Like I've said, I've invested like 10k into myself. You know, I didn't do it all alone. I took the shortcut, which is investing in yourself. And I can't really stress it enough. It's more something you have to go and do and find out yourself the benefits of it. But if you have made it this far, thanks for watching. And don't just go away with like this high dopamine rush. If you just get off this video with a dopamine high and you don't actually go and implement anything, you may have just as well been asleep, okay? So take away what you can and just know it's in your control.